Hi, I'm what you would call a stereotypical nerd. I read a lot, I know a lot of random facts, and if you ask me a question, I'll probably know something about that topic. Nerds are typically personified by an entertainment industry, specifically in America and the UK, by wearing big bow ties and button-up shirts or having big glasses. They always have their nose in a book, or they always have their hand practically touching the roof. Stereotyping nerds this way is not nice, and it's morally wrong. We shouldn't be saying if you read books or if you're smart or get good grades, you've got to look like this and act like this. There are many different types of nerds, not just academic nerds. There are theatre nerds, music nerds, art nerds, footy nerds, soccer nerds, basketball nerds, and I could go on and on. Instead of stereotyping people like this, we should be looking at all the different types of people instead of focusing on one type. People mainly focus on academic nerds because they seem to be born with it. But the truth is, no one is truly born with intelligence. Fact is, most babies are pretty dumb. They learn things from the beginning. Everyone learns how to walk, how to write, how to read, and people retain and absorb knowledge at different paces, in different ways, and at different speeds. I'm going to mention to you two people. I'm not going to tell you anything about them, but I'm going to describe them how they are in a classroom. Person one never talks, never looks at the teacher, doesn't take any notes, and is not really interactive with their classroom at all. Person two, however, takes notes on everything that everyone's saying, asks a ton of questions, and is always talking to someone. I didn't tell you anything about these two people because you may judge them based on what they look like, who they are, what gender they are, their interests, or their personality. Many people, if they hear about this, they will think person one doesn't like learning and they don't like that being in a classroom at all. However, they'll think person two is a nerd and they love learning, whereas they could simply be trying to get good grades so that they can get on with their lives easier. Instead of characterizing these two people as nerdy or uninterested, we could look at them like trying to be prepared. Person one doesn't think that school's important or that learning is interesting or going to be useful in their life. Person two, however, wants to know everything they can so that they can get a job easier or live their lives better. I didn't mention why these people looked like how they do because you could judge them on that. We shouldn't judge people based on their gender, age, race, ethnicity, or whether or not they have any disabilities, which is seen in a lot of different places, like workplaces, classrooms, out on the street. If someone had autism, ADHD, dyslexia, cerebral palsy, someone could say that the bully is targeting the victim who has those things. Therefore, they're targeting the disability. Instead of seeing people with disabilities as the disability itself, we should still be seeing them as people. Instead of telling people that they're being racist or sexist or rude to someone with a disability, we should be saying, you're being really rude based on the fact that they are smarter than you. Humans do know the difference between right and wrong. There is always that sense in their mind, what I'm doing is I'm trying to do the right thing and they're doing the wrong thing. If the bully is bullying the victim without knowing that they are bullying someone, they might see it as having a laugh or doing it for the fun of it, instead of it being bullying and it being morally incorrect. The victim will see it as rude, hurtful, and immoral, and they will ask them to stop. The bully won't listen because they see themselves as right. If the bully doesn't understand that what they're doing is wrong, we as people should be able to see what is right and wrong. That the bully is hurting the victim's feelings, and we should know that and be able to stop it. When the bully doesn't understand that, we should be able to explain to them, this is wrong because you're picking on something that they could be insecure about or they're trying their hardest with. We could, if they don't understand that, we could tell them that it's hurting their feelings and we need to stop it so that they are not hurt by those feelings. If the bully still doesn't understand, then they may not retain information as easy. If you tell someone something, they may not get the hang of it, simply because that's not how they listen to things. You might need to write it down and have them read it over. You might need to say it in other words because they don't understand that the way you worded it the first time. This is a way that we can stop bullying in both workplaces and classrooms or any other places that you can find it. Thank you.